To Mary, the sounds of pleasure and pain were the same sounds. Returning from another tedious day of educating and entertaining the precious darlings at Thornton Prep, Mary was surprised to find the front door wide open. So she opened and closed the door 4 times, as usual. Only this time she reached into the drawer to feel the smooth leather of Tom's holster. Before he'd gone away on his business trip, he'd shown her the thumb brake, how to load and cock the pistol. Mary'd been a good student at the range, too. Not even the recoil could throw her off, and on her locker, the day manager replaced her name tag with a picture of Annie Oakley. She could hear the bedroom door groaning down the hall, whining, creaking. She could hear it from the kitchen. She tiptoed down the hall, holding the gun with both hands, poised to defend as Tom had shown her. When she got to the bedroom, she opened the door 4 times. It squealed, whined, moaned. She peered around the edge of the door to the bedroom, seeing the frantic hustle under the duvet cover she'd washed 4 times. She noticed Tom's belt and his jacket next to the jacket she had given her best friend Gina just a year before. Gina was her best friend since kindergarten. Mary stood in the doorway unblinking. "Tom, why haven't you fixed this door?" Tom leapt out of the bed, slamming his legs into the nightstand, holding his shins, which looked a little bloody, pulling the boxers up. Mary, honey, put the gun down. What are you doing? I'll fix it. Mary, I can explain." She could see the face of her best friend peering over the edge of the duvet cover, like just shaking and shivering. It reminded her of when they were kids telling ghost stories. "The door is still making noise, Tom." "Hello, Gina." Mary's voice was calm, her face placid. "Tom and I are going to finish something we have to fix. We'll be right there. Why don't you go get a snack or a beer?" She waved the gun toward the kitchen. But Gina ran into the bathroom and slammed the door. And Mary had to resist the temptation to open and close the door 3 more times for an even number. "Mary, put the goddamn gun down." Tom was frantic, but Mary was tired of being told what to do. So she slammed the door 4 more times and cocked the gun, putting it right up into Tom's forehead. Okay, Tom said. Tom's socks were still on, but his erection was not. He padded down the cellar steps, pulled a small hammer out of the tool bin on the first shelf, and went to work on the door. Gina was whimpering in the bathroom, and this sound made Mary crazy. "We don't have to do this, Mary." Tom knelt, tried plying the hinge, putting some oil in it. The door still made its noise. His work had never satisfied Mary, but Gina's husband, Joe, had a great toolkit. So she pulled her phone out with one hand, keeping the gun trained on Tom, and left Joe a message. "Joe, it's Mary. Can you please come over? Just bring your big mallet. We need a big mallet. It's an emergency." So they sat on the floor for what seemed like 15 seconds or 15 minutes or 15 hours while Tom worked, sweating away at the hinges on the door. And Gina called to Joe from the bathroom when she heard him approaching. "Joe, she's crazy. She's trying to kill us. Joe, help. I can explain." The bathroom door lurched open, and again, Mary had to resist the temptation to shut it 3 more times for the even 4. But instead, Gina came lurching out toward Joe, grabbing at him. When he saw that Gina was half-dressed, and that Tom was on the floor in his boxers, and that Mary had a gun in her hand, he dropped the large mallet and said, "What's going on?" Knowing the answer, he turned on his heel, started out the front door screaming, "Gina, don't ever come near me again." Gina followed him out. Mary could hear them screeching and screaming at the edge of the sidewalk. She looked down at Tom, who was still working on the door, sweating. She smiled. Her eyes were not warm. She opened the door 4 more times, and it made no sound, or it made the sound of thunderous relief, which was no sound at all.